Peace and greetings. Good day, good afternoon, good evening, salutations, wherever you may be. I hope you've had a good day or are having a good day. So I actually had released a video right after the one that I pre-released before this one. But it had got blocked because the article that was reporting on was about some new technology. It was a guy that was talking about, can't get into the actual company or anything too specific, so it's going to be very vague. He was basically displaying his technology, how it worked. It was a wearable technology uh for the blind, so they'd be able to see or basically hear what's going on around them. So he did a YouTube video while he's walking. You could actually he could actually hear what's in front of him: a tree branch, a car, people walking across the street. But it was so crazy. He was like, while the technology was reporting to him in the air, it was telling him everything at simultaneously. Like, you could see everything, but it was just telling you verbally what's going on, overlapping voices. It was ridiculous, but it was a great idea. I'm just not sure. Like, you can always see more than you can hear. You can see everything at the same time, but you can't hear everything at the same time. And that was a great problem for him to have to go through. But I was like, wow, this technology would definitely make a difference if he could fine tweak it into something great. Well, it is great right now. Let me not downplay. He did a great job. He also said he was also doing technology for allowing robots to see, and he realized that there were people around him that actually couldn't see. So he transitioned his technology to then work for the blind. And I was like, pretty cool, dude, pretty cool. So after that had got blocked, it was all screwed up. So I was like, dang. Took me a while to make a new video, and here we are, live and pre-recorded. I also had wanted to include this video of this comedian. So it looks like YouTube's not letting me show the comedian. Um, so yeah, I had to come edit this video again. Um, that's pretty much it. I had to cut that part out of the video. Oh, and you cannot find the actual the article. Even the link that I had to the article is gone. The YouTube is gone. I'm just like, they they just scrubbed it off the internet. Not a problem. Great job. I know it's possible now. Okay, so scientists have measured the core of Mars and found something unexpected. NASA InSight measures Mars quakes and could reveal secrets about the red planet and evolution of our solar system. Scientists have for the first time directly measured the core of another planet. NASA's InSight mission on Mars has discovered the red planet's core is considerably bigger than expected. Oh, just to also mention, so I may not be always reading through the article so that you can read through as well. I realize going through these articles that some may be blocked, so I may just be able to read the article and not actually show you the article. Like, I'll try to show the title, or show the title enough that it takes away from the company that's actually doing the technology, so that I could still remain up and people can hear what's going on. Unfortunately, I may not be able to show you. We'll see how that works. Um Instruments on the spacecraft have listened to seismic energy deep within the planet. The data suggests a measurement of 1,810-1,860 kilometers in diameter, roughly half the size of Earth's core. It's larger than some predictions, which means the Martian core is less dense than previously estimated, probably due to the presence of lighter elements such as oxygen. The measurements have not yet been published in a journal but we reported at a virtual gathering of the Lunar and Planetary Science Conference. The findings could help researchers piece together more about how the planet evolved and raises questions about the conditions for potential life on the planet. Okay. The measurement was taken with a seismometer, says Divya Perswad, a planetary scientist at UCL who was involved in the research. Quote, it's like a very sensitive ear pressed against the ground, listening for energetic events in the interior of the planet. On Earth, these are usually earthquakes. InSight has detected hundreds of seismic events in the first Martian year of its mission. Seismic events on Mars, like Mars quakes or meteorite impacts, are exciting on on their own to geologists, but they are also useful too. A useful tool. On Earth, when an earthquake releases a lot of energy, these waves of energy travel throughout the interior of the planet and bounce off the different materials, like magma, or boundaries between layers of different types of rocks. They also slow down in some materials or speed up in others. By measuring the strength of these signals and how they interact with material on the ground, scientists can detect the internal structure of the planet. The InSight team used the same technique on Mars. Persuade, but we got it right, is intrigued that the core isn't as dense as expected, because it may lead to new understandings about how planets and wider solar systems evolve. Cores also tell us about energy in the solar system over time. She says, not just for Mars, but all of the terrestrial planets which form at the same time but in very different ways from each other. Understanding the structure of Mars tells us about how much heat it started with, at what depths, and at what rate through time. It is an important puzzle piece in the bigger mystery of how and why the planets formed the way they did. That's a good point. InSight, which sits close to the Martian equator, may not be reporting many more findings. Dust is beginning to build up on its solar panels, and as Mars moves further away from the sun and its orbits, the spacecraft will soon begin to lose its ability to recharge. Oh, damn. However, its discoveries are already game-changing and hint at bigger puzzles to work out. The planet's core tell us more about the ancient magnetic field that once sustained the Martian atmosphere. Not unlike Earth's, this could tell us more about potential life on Mars in the distant past. Quote, there is also a significance in the InSight has been really successful technology, Persuade says. We only have seismic measurements from Earth, the Moon, and Mars. And here we have a really successful advanced instrument that is changing our perspective of Mars. In future, a seismometer on a body like Europa could give us a fantastic look into a radically different world. The future of planetary seismology is really exciting. Yeah, man. I remember just to reference this. Remember they used the on the moon mission. They slammed the pod into the moon, and they realized the moon was echoing. I don't have the article here to pull up for you. Maybe I'll do it next time. But they said it was like an echo in the moon itself. That's just crazy. So I got this other article, right? New treatment makes teeth grow back. What? A new antibody treatment made lab animals regrow missing teeth. Crazy, right? I hope they don't take this down, but since it's new and since they took down the other one, a new experimental treatment could someday give people a way to grow missing teeth. If early research lab on animal holds up. Always getting animals, man. Science. What can I say? Scientists at Japan Kyoto University and University of Fukui, 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 ha. I didn't say the other one. Developed a monoclonal antibody treatment that seemed to trigger the body to grow new teeth. According to research published last month in the journal Science Advances, if upcoming experiments continue to work, it could eventually give us a way to grow teeth lost in adulthood or those who are missing since childhood due to congenital conditions. Mouthful. Wow. It's a tricky challenge. The genes that influence tooth growth have a far-reaching impacts on developing throughout the body. And some of the first iterations of the treatment actually caused more birth defects in the lab mice before the research team got all the kinks ironed out. According to the press release on the study, sheesh, poor animals. That's what happens to advance our existence, right? But eventually, the team found that blocking a gene called USAG-1 led to increasing activity in bone morphogenic protein, BMP, a molecule that determines how many teeth will grow in the first place, and allowed adult mice to regrow any that they were missing. Wow. Damn. The experiment also worked on ferrets, which the researcher says is important because their teeth are far more human-like than mouse teeth are. Didn't know that. Ferret teeth are far more human-like than mouse teeth? Interesting. Also, ferrets are mm, diphodonts. Di, diphyodont? Diphodont? Nailed it. Animals with similar dental patterns to humans. Kyoto researcher and lead study author Katsu Takashi said in the press release, our next plan is to test antibodies in other animals such as pigs and dogs. There is still a long way to go before they reach human trials, but continued success in those upcoming trials would be a promising sign for future of a clinical treatment that lets us naturally regrow our missing teeth. As a futurism reader, reinvent your singularity, blah blah blah. All right, that's pretty cool though. So I was trying to keep this video short. Oh no, actually, this is one last article I want to touch on, right? New York. Lawmakers reach agreement to legalize recreational marijuana. Let's just say it. I'm 420 positive. Ha. Yeah, I'm not gonna read through the whole thing. I was trying to keep this video short. But let's see how far we get to. New York is supposed to join the growing number of states that have legalized marijuana after a deal to allow sales of the drug for recreational use. State legislatures reached an agreement late Saturday to legalize recreational marijuana sales in the state. At least 14 other U.S. states already allow residents to buy marijuana for recreational and not just medical use. Democrats, who now wield a veto-proof majority in the state legislature, have made passing it a priority this year. And Democratic Governor Andrew Cuomo administration has estimated legalization could eventually bring the state about 350 million annually in an industry projected to worth $4 billion in the state. This is a quote from the Senate Finance Committee. My goal in carrying this legislation has always been to end racially disparate enforcement of marijuana prohibitions that has taken such a toll in communities of colors across our state, and to use the economic windfall of legislation to help heal and repair those same communities. The state senator Liz Krueger, Senate sponsor of the bill and chair Senate's Finance Committee, said the legislation would allow recreational marijuana sales to adults over the age of 21 and set up a licensing process for the delivery of cannabis products to customers. Individual New Yorkers could grow up to three mature and three immature plants for personal consumption. I didn't even know you could grow it. All right. And local governments could opt out of retail sales. Hmm. The legislation would take effect immediately if passed. Those sales wouldn't start immediately as New York sets up rules to propose the board. The Assembly Majority Leader Crystal Peoples Stokes estimated Friday would take 18 months to 2 years for sales to start. New York would set a 9% sale tax on cannabis plus an additional 4% tax split between the county and local government. It would also impose additional tax based on the level of THC, the active ingredient in marijuana, ranging from zero point 0.5 cents a milligram for flower to 3 cents a milligram for edibles. New York would eliminate penalties for possession of less than 3 ounces of cannabis and automatically expunge records of people with past convictions for marijuana related offenses that would no longer be criminalized. That's a step beyond the 2019 law that expunged many past convictions for marijuana possession and reduced the penalty for possessing small amounts. Quote, for generations, too many New Yorkers have been unfairly penalized for the use of sales of adult use cannabis, arbitrarily arrested and jailed with harsh mandatory minimum sentences. After years of tireless advocacy and extraordinarily hard work, that time is coming to an end. New Yorkers state, quote, and Cuomo said in the press release. And New York would provide loans, grants, and incubator programs to encourage participation of cannabis industry. Proponents have said the move could create thousands of jobs and begin address racial injustice. The only thing is, yes, you get a lot of black workers, but let's get some, minority black owners or minority owners. Sorry, let's just keep it broad because there's not only black folks as the minorities. Hmm, police prosecutors, wow, police prosecutor, child services, immigration, and custom enforcement, ICE, have used criminalization as weapon against them, and the impact of this and the impact this bill will have on the lives of our overserved and the impact this bill will have on the lives of our over surveilled clients cannot be overstated. Alice Frontier managing director of Neighborhood Defender Service of Harlem, said in the statement Saturday, Cuomo has pointed to the growing acceptance of legalization in Northeast, including Massachusetts, Maine, and most recently New Jersey. It also has run into opposition. Quote, we are in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic and the serious crisis of youth vaping and continually opioid epidemic. This harmful legislation is counterintuitive, said an open letter signed by Medical Society of the State of New York, New York State Parent Teacher Association, New York Sheriff Association, and several other organizations on March 11th. Honestly, when I think about this, though, this is like, yes, there is a problem with the vaping. Vaping is definitely harmful. People are still vaping to this day, and they just don't care. It's just like YOLO, like, no, no go, don't do it. Opioid, still a problem. We all know where it comes from. Can't mention it too crazy. It's definitely a problem. And I'm and yes, we definitely could circle back. We could circle back and handle those issues. But right now, politicians are trying to keep everyone happy, and then it's like it's a bigger problem that would make a lot of people upset because they would have to stop doing what they're doing. You know, easy way, not so easy. We have a small favor to ask across the. All right, I guess this is the letter. And that's it. After that, we have a small favor to ask. Across the US and around the world, millions of readers rely on the guide. No. Okay. So, hmm, yeah, that's it. Try to keep this video short. Um, Let me know what you think. Pro marijuana. Um, the teeth treatment. I don't know. Like, comment, subscribe. I was gonna get into this, but save that for next time. Peace.